Here we go. Here we go. What is up, nerds? It's me, your buddy pal, Hey Archer. Welcome back to Nerdy Coffee here on Nerd Affiliated. I'm going to label this thing analysis paralysis. I'll say analysis paralysis. Analysis paralysis. That's actually what I should name. I'm not going to rename the stream now, but it's probably what I should have named this thing. We're live. I don't know why I was more nervous to do this than any other show, because I do weekly shows here on the channel. So if you're new here, welcome. I'm Hey Archer. We're back. Nerdy Coffee's back. And I'm going to talk about it. Talk about how we got to this point. Talk about what's going to change. And I still don't know the final plans of what's going to change, but we're going to talk about it. We're also going to talk about nerd news. We're going to talk about some shows, some things coming up, and I'm going to kind of play through some ideas in my head as the show goes on. And this show will kind of morph as we go through today's episode. We have a hard stop at 9:00, old school style. But I'll say hi to the chat real quick. We have Marsha in the house. Good to see you. On your lunch break, wow, that you apparently start work very early. On your lunch break and came to say hello. Welcome. Geek Strong in the house, the strongest. Good to see you. So the show's back. But the analysis paralysis that was occurring. The show is going to be, I'm going to try to go live doing this 4 a.m. Damn. I'm going to go live doing this show as many days a week as I can. I'm going to start time this show whenever I can. I was so fixated on, in the whole, the channel as a whole, as you guys probably know, eating breakfast, Geek Strong. There you go. I just finished. The channel as a whole, I've always tried to be very professional isn't the right word, but like, I want you to feel like you're watching a TV show, like this intro, outro, instead of like credits, I show the channel memberships, but I also try to do what the YouTube pros say, which is like, you go live at a certain time every week, or you drop videos at a certain time every week. You're consistent. You follow all these steps in order to put out a good product. So that way your channel and your streams and your videos do well. So life happens, and I was able to maintain Hey Archer Live every Thursday, 8:15 p.m. here on the channel. But I wanted to do another live show. But I also wanted to put out more videos. What's up, Sal? Good to see you. In trying to match doing something at the same time every week, exactly in the same structure, and et cetera, I got into this paralysis where I could not get this show off the ground once again. It just got stuck because I couldn't make it perfect. So I realized over the last 2 years that there's a lot of content that we all probably consume that we really enjoy, but we may not know why we enjoy it. And we also don't do a lot of those things in our own content if you're a content creator. And one of the things I realized is there's a lot of people I watch online that don't stream at a certain time every day. They don't stream for a specific amount of time. They don't stream with a certain format per se. At the end of the day, there's an overall theme, but there's not like, this is how it is every single time. They just kind of go rogue. We're going live tomorrow at this time. We're going at that time. We're talking about this topic. We're talking about that topic. So I was like, why am I not doing that? Like, why am I wasting so much time trying to put out the perfect stream, the perfect product? I could literally just turn the computer on and just go live. You just hit the button, right? What's up, JB? Good to see you. So that ramble, it brings us to today's episode where I'm going to just, Hey Archer Live is going to stay where it is. It's going to stay as is where it is Thursday nights, where you guys kind of dictate the show. But Nerdy Coffee is going to be as many times a week as I can, in the morning when I can, and start time, end time, the topics, all that stuff. It's going to be random. It'll be random. I'll try to be as consistent as I can, but it's probably going to be random. Now, there's another need that I have for the channel, which caused me to relaunch the show. I have to put out more videos on the channel. Right now, we're getting out like maybe like 2 structured videos a month. The live streams every Thursday, and then I'm getting out a couple shorts a month. But I'm not putting out enough just straight up nerdy content. And the problem I'm having with Hey Archer Live in particular is I'm having so much fun talking to you guys. I'm not like structuring like topics in a way where I can like cut out those topics to put them on the channel. Which is why I asked the other day to you guys, do you guys want podcasts back, or should I stay doing live, or both? And you guys like landslide voted on live as far as the content goes. So I was like, all right, do you guys want to see lives? I still have to put out shorter content, pre-recorded content to get new people into the channel, right? Because like, you know, how often do we all scroll the live section of YouTube when we open up YouTube? Like, it's not that common. So in order to grow the channel and grow the nerd affiliated community, the affiliates, I have to put out short form content that somebody scrolling their YouTube timeline sees. So I was like, all right, I'm going to do live, and then I'm going to structure the show, not structure the show, but I'm going to cover topics in the show. And then at the end of the show, I will get to the comments. So that's going to allow me the ability to talk about something. Sorry, see, old school, that morning congestion. I'll finish comments before I start, but this is going to allow me to talk about certain things, be able to cut those segments out, put them on the channel, still have you guys here with me in the stream, because even if I don't have the chat like open, I'll still see the chat. You guys see each other in the chat. And then at the end of the show, I'll go through the chat. So that's how this show is going to go. Hey Archer Live is going to stay the same, where you guys stay up the whole time. I'm reading the comments. I'm talking to you guys as the show's going on. That's going to, I didn't want that to change, because I love the fact that you guys are part of the show. You guys are the channel. Like, the subscribers are the part of every channel, and I feel like every channel doesn't acknowledge that the way they should. So that's how it's going to go. I also toyed with the idea of doing some member-only streams, but in order to give you members like something in addition. But I got to figure out the logistics of that, because you are going to get your own stuff, but I don't want member only like shows for everybody. Like, I don't want to make Nerdy Coffee a members only show and then the clips go off everybody. Or I don't want to make it a member only chat. I don't feel the need to do that, or the desire to do that. I feel like that's not fair. So I'm going to still work on what members only content am I going to roll out, especially how do I differentiate between the 2 tiers. So, yeah, this is going to be a work in progress. It's a work in progress. I'm glad you guys are still here. That you guys still like the morning shows. Geek Strong says, I don't have a specific schedule making videos. My channel and videos do pretty well. I don't stress. I put out at least 1 video a week and a bunch of short toy hunts. Exactly. Sal says we definitely have more of a family vibe here. Yeah, yeah. So that's why I don't want to like exclude anybody when it comes to the live streams. I remember we did do the subscriber only live or subscriber only chats. Maybe I just do that, but I'll figure out something to do for members so you guys get something additional to, one, just supporting the channel, the percentages off the website, and the links to join the streams. So, yeah. All right. So, like I said, I'm going to try to ignore the chat for the purposes of getting through topics. I'm going to leave you guys up on the screen. And I will read through the chat at the end. I might get distracted. It's going to be hard. If I got to bullshit, it's going to be hard to do that. But I'm going to try my best for the sake of content. But also just like the non-live viewer. I guess that's probably the better way to say it. Well, I'll read a couple more. Honestly, I don't care or need member-only videos or streams. I support because I enjoy your videos. So I really appreciate that. Sal said, thanks. Geek said, good luck. There you go. All right. Let's roll into the show. And I'm also going to work on I can't not have an intro. So I'm going to work on that too. Yeah. So we're going to start off with Skeleton Crew. We finally got the finale of Skeleton Crew last night, 9 p.m. Eastern. It dropped. And I also put a review, a little quick blurb over on Instagram. And I would love for you guys to tell me down below what you thought of the show. I have not hid the fact that I disliked the show. I gave it a 2 out of 5 in my review. I don't think the show is completely unwatchable, or I don't think it was unwatchable. I think effort was put into the show, and I see and understand that kids were the overall appeal of the show. But I feel like what Disney can't figure out is what everybody wants to do is figure out the Stranger Things formula, which Stranger Things figured out a modern day Goonies formula. So everybody now is trying to replicate what Stranger Things did, and they can't decide, right? Disney can't decide, is this strictly for kids? Is this a kids / you watch with your parents show? Or is it just the adults can enjoy it as well? They can't really figure it out. And this show, I'm not going to spoil the ending of the show, but it's all for nothing. Like, the show starts, the show ends, there's an ending, but there's no like reveal. There's no, oh my God, that's this thing, or that's that person, or none of that happens, which maybe in a way that's, maybe it's wrong that we expect that with Star Wars all the time. I don't know, but I found the show to be absolutely boring. I found it to be boring. I was thinking about this yesterday, and maybe this is part of the Disney problem when it comes to Star Wars and maybe some of the other properties. But they came out with this like, it's not unwritten, it's obviously written, but they came out with this, the 7 types of narratives when it comes to writing and movies. And, I feel like there was 12 at one point, but in a quick search this morning, I found the 7. And generally when you're doing like action, or I guess you could have it in other genres, but more when I think about like the action, the adventure type of stuff, you definitely run into, these 7 narratives when you're telling a good story, overcoming the monster, the King Arthur trope, right? Rags to riches, a quest, voyage and return, comedy, tragedy, rebirth. Like, these are things that you need when you're trying to tell a story like what they were trying to tell. Now, in this show, was Jude Law the monster? I don't really think so. Like, he was there, but I don't see him as a monster. There was no rags to riches. The quests, they weren't trying to get anything, right? They weren't trying to get gold like in Goonies. I guess Jude Law was. Voyage and return, it was an accidental voyage. They went to different places. None of the places were memorable. Nothing exciting happened in these places. Was there comedy? Sure. Was there tragedy? No. Was there rebirth? No. So I feel like when I watch these Disney shows, of these 7 things may happen, but there's no like real thought behind any of this. Zero. And in fact, when I think about Ahsoka had, the quest trope, right? On one end, and then you also had a voyage and return on the other end, right? Because the quest for Sabine and Ahsoka was, we got to find Ezra. Ezra went on this voyage to save everybody, trying to return. The show literally just switched the two. So neither really like ended. So that's why I think I also disliked Ahsoka. So all that is said because I just feel like Disney cannot figure out a way how to tell a legit Disney story or legit Star Wars story following basic narration or story plot threads in a way that's just interesting to anybody other than like, hey guys, it's Star Wars. You need to watch this. Because at the end of the day, I think most of us watched it because it's Star Wars. And because you felt like something will happen at the end that connects to a different show, connects to a different movie. I have to watch it so it's not spoiled for me, but then I'm also ready for the next thing. And none of this list happened, really. It was an empty voyage and return. The quest was empty. So, like I said, I'm not going to spoil the show for now. I'd like to give it a couple days. I could probably talk about it more in depth. Maybe even tomorrow on Thursday. Hey Archer Live. Maybe we'll talk about it then. But we'll see. Skeleton Crew 2 out of 5. It was completely pointless. It was a pointless show. Last night, I got excited. I got a little too excited. Shout out to Creativity from the Future. Like I said, I'm going to stay out of you just showed up, so that's why I'm saying this. I'm trying to get through Cutthroat in the House. Good to see you. I'm trying to, in this new theme of Nerdy Coffee, I'm trying to get through all the topics, and then I'm going to go into the chat afterwards. So feel free to keep talking in the chat, interacting in the chat, writing to me based on what we're talking about in the chat. And then I'm going to read all the stuff at the end just to get through the topics. All right. So the first meme here, actually, the first GIF at the top. Oh my God, it's happening. That was me last night. I'm on Instagram. The Daredevil Instagram page had a story. I clicked on the story. It was 7 a.m. Pacific. I got so excited. I was like 7 p.m. Pacific. That's in 6 minutes. Get ready to go live. So I set up the computer. And if you guys saw last night, I went live real quick. I was also testing out camera settings, but I saw this, got excited, thought it was last night. It's 7 a.m. Pacific. So they posted that. Deborah here, who was in the show as well, I forget the name of her character. She shared this morning. So we're getting a trailer. It's got to be a trailer. It's got to be a Daredevil trailer. We've been talking about Marvel versus DC this year. We haven't really... I like to say we haven't been excited about that in a long time. Last time I remember we're excited for both studios moment was when BVS was coming out. And that was the same time as Civil War, I want to say. May even have been Winter Soldier. No, it was Civil War. Because I remember I made a picture on Facebook that was like the Cap versus Iron Man and then Batman versus Superman pictures. And I think it was the same year we got the Power Ranger movie too. But, going into this year, I was kind of over Marvel the same way I'm kind of over Star Wars. However, Thunderbolts, Daredevil, Brave New World, if that ends up being good, Marvel has a good shot at being talked about once again in a favorable way this year. And Daredevil could be the one. Daredevil could be the one. Now, I won't be able to do a live reaction to this. This is at 10 a.m. Eastern. So maybe I'll talk about it tomorrow on Hair Live, or if I do this show tomorrow. First of all, the marketing person in me hates the fact that it's 7 a.m. Pacific when Daredevil takes place in Hell's Kitchen, New York, which is Eastern Standard Time. But that's just me being me. We need to see Murdoch, which we saw him in She-Hulk, but we need the red suit Murdoch. We need Punisher. We need Punisher in this trailer. Get us excited. Even though Punisher season 2 was terrible, season 1, we enjoyed it for what it was. But you got to show us Punisher and you got to show us Daredevil in this trailer. Wilson Fisk, I'm okay if he's on the trailer. We already saw him in Echo and we saw him in She-Hulk. And we saw Daredevil in Echo too. Everybody already forgot about that show. But we need to see Daredevil. We need to see Daredevil. We need to see Punisher in this trailer. And let me know what you guys think. This season, right? Because this is essentially a continuation of the Netflix show. They've said that. We need a hallway fight in this season. Like, we need a one-take hallway fight. It's been the staple of the first 3 seasons of Daredevil. In fact, last night, I watched the second season one when he goes against the bikers. And it's so good. It's so good. So, am I out of pocket for saying if we don't get a one-shot hallway fight in Daredevil Born Again that we riot? Is that out of pocket? Is that a left field? But I'm looking forward to this trailer. I hope it's not a teaser. I hope it's a whole trailer. And yeah, I don't know what else I could be looking for out of a Daredevil series. Outside of maybe more acknowledgement of it being connected to the overall MCU. But I'm pumped. We'll see. I'm glad the fans got the band back together. So, pretty excited. All right. So yesterday, in a little bit of business news, I found something out via Retro J. He did a stream last night. What does Diamond's bankruptcy mean? Of which case I was like, wait, he's talking about Diamond Selects. That's where I know them from, Diamond Select Toys. So they have filed for bankruptcy. This is Business Wire. Diamond Comic Distributor files a voluntary petition for relief under Chapter 11. So I'd be lying to you guys if I believed that Diamond was still a company up to last year. Legit. We do the New York Comic Con videos here on the channel. Make sure you guys check those out. Every year, by the NECA booth, we walk past the Diamond display, aka the Diamond Selects display, and I never even realized it was them. Had no clue. I thought they lost like the Marvel and Star Wars licenses to Hasbro. So this year at Comic-Con, we were upstairs in the cosplay section, and in the back area, there's an area for the back area. There's an area for panels, and there's also a food court. So when you go to the panel area, you can kind of freely walk in and out unless it's like capacity and then they rope you off. But people will usually eat in the panel area. It's like a lower tier panel. They'll usually eat and relax in that area unless there's like a major panel happening. So we went over there. We sat down, taking a break, and they're like, all right, guys, who's ready for the Diamond Selects panel? And I was like, what? I was in shock. They talked about Marvel, Star Wars, and a couple other licenses. And like I said, I was blown away. I mentioned it in Retro J's stream last night. It was a very lackluster panel. The people were up there. Those four guys and a host. And there was not a lot of interest. There were people there watching the panel. It seemed like most of the questions from the audience were in relation to the Star Wars stuff that they're doing. I guess they do a lot of busts, a lot of statues, or miniature statues. But they even up there on the stage, they were like talking. They were having side conversations as the panel was going on. So, ultimately, what does this mean? I don't know. I truly don't know. I don't think Diamond has been a big player in so long that I don't think it causes that much disruption to the industry per se. Maybe in comic books. But I think what does hurt the community as a whole is that's potentially one less competitor. Ironically enough, Bellator MMA went out of business. They announced that yesterday too. But competition's good for everything. So you need it, but I feel like a company like Diamond hasn't been competing against what we're normally buying from a Hasbro in a long ass time. So I don't think it really affects us unless you happen to be a fan of Diamond and you collect them on a regular basis. But it sucks. I immediately think of the Marvel figures, how good those used to be. They also made the real Ghostbuster figures back in the day, which still go for a lot of money. Those are the ones I think that came with like a build a playset. They actually did a lot of interesting things over there. So, RIP if they do go out. So somebody commented in Jay's stream, which you guys should watch. Maybe Todd McFarlane will buy them. Maybe he'll buy molds because he likes to do that. He'll take some molds and re-release something. But otherwise, it's is what it is. Is what it is. I'll put a link to Mega J's stream in the comments. And like I said, I see you guys talking in the comments. I'll get to you guys at the end of the show. Appreciate it. Yeah, I had to actually make sure it was still Diamond Selects. And you have to look at that. Busts, Godzilla, Lord of the Rings. So they were still doing their thing. Yeah. I just don't know anybody who really collects these like that. But, to each their own. Not knocking it. All right. So Letterboxd. There's a link to our Letterboxd down below in the comments or in the description. I'm trying to make a really good push at Letterboxd this year. I'm trying to watch more movies this year. And one of the challenges I gave myself, I've given myself a lot of challenges so far, 2025. For one, I'm posting one new picture a day over on the Book of Archer on Instagram. That is my photography page. So give me a follow over there if you can. So I'm doing one new photo a day on the Book of Archer. And the other challenge I gave myself was 2024. This might sound stupid because I guess every year there's a lot of movies, but I feel like 2024 had a lot of quote unquote good movies. And I didn't really see any of them. This list only consisted of, I think, 4 movies up until 2025. So along with trying to see more movies this year, maybe not in theaters, that's going to be a tough one. I don't know, I might have to, but I'm trying to see more movies this year, but I'm also trying to catch up on the movies of 2024. So I recently ranked my movies of 2024. I had my movie of the year as Deadpool Wolverine. A close second to that was Dune. And after that, it was Transformers 1 and Alien. Sorry, no. When did I see Transformers? I saw Transformers at the end of last year on Paramount. It was like Deadpool, Wolverine, Dune, Transformers 1, Alien, and then Frozen Empire. Those were the 5 movies I saw last year that were released last year. Then this year, starting off, I watched Civil War because I think T3 had that as his movie of the year. And I enjoyed it. So it made it to number 5 on the list, or number 4 at the time. And then I decided to watch Trap. And Trap was amazing. I love Trap. And it actually, in my opinion, bumped out Dune for my number 2 movie of last year, as of now. Yesterday, I got a chance to add a new movie to the watch list. And I haven't put it on here yet. But I finally watched Godzilla X Kong last night. And, it took me to Skeleton Crew. I thought this movie was atrocious. I was just like, well, what? Like, I really had to force myself to watch this movie. I had to finish the movie. The other day, I actually started watching World of Warcraft, and I had to stop. I was like, you can't do this yourself. You only have so many hours in a day. You can't. I gave it a 1.5, I think, maybe even a 1. But with this one, because it was going on the 2024 list, I was like, you just have to finish this. Just get through this movie. And I did. And this is for kids. It was mindless. I still don't know why we're wasting time with humans in these stories. Godzilla -1 is the only one that like successfully had humans in it, where I was like, oh, I give a shit about the human characters. This one, no. Like we're good. But like Sal said in our group chat, he was like, oh, did monsters punch each other in the movie? I said yes. He was like, well, then that's all we needed in that movie. And that's, I think, what I'll put in my review. Monsters punched each other. And that's all it is. That's all the movie is. When I finally do my list here, it's going to be number 8. I definitely wasn't hating Frozen Empire when I was watching it, so that'll be number 8. But the 2 movies I really want to watch, hopefully I can get through those this week, are I do want to watch Monkey Man, and I want to watch Boy vs. World, I think was the other one. Those are 2 action movies I want to see. And I think Beekeeper was also this year, right? Yeah. I think Beekeeper came out like January. It was like really early in the year. Yeah, January 12th. So I do want to watch that because a lot of people love that movie too. Felicia Rashad's in that movie? Wow. So, yeah, 3 action movies on the list, or I want to get them on the list so I could rank them. So far for 2024, I don't have any movies on the list yet. You know, but it's off to a strong start. Moana about to hit $1 billion, 990 worldwide. I have not seen any good reviews of it. So it's, you know, if you perfectly aim movies at the kids and parents know it's a safe movie for them to watch, you can get eyes on it. So Moana 2 right now, for last weekend, we're talking box office here. Last weekend, Moana 2 was number 5, Nosferatu number 4, Sonic 3 is 3, Mufasa was 2, and then Den of Thieves number 1. Not a 2024 release, but I do want to watch Den of Thieves 1. Or I guess just why am I struggling with this? Den of Thieves. I want to watch that movie because after this one, they were talking about doing they want to be the next Fast franchise where they're just like pumping out movies, which funny enough, Gerard Butler is in this movie, but he's also in the Fallen movies, the like Olympus Has Fallen, you know, those. So he's tied himself to another franchise that maybe he's going to get some solid paychecks out of. But I have no desire to see any of these outside of Nosferatu, and I'll wait for the home release on that one. So that might be my first legit. Well, actually, that one came out at the end of 24. Yeah, it came out Christmas. But I think I'm going to count that as 2020. That's like close. That's close. I guess I'll put it on 2024. It legit came out at that point. So when that's at home release, I'll add that to the list for movies coming up, and then we'll get to the chat. Of course, Goonies is going on a re-release. We have nothing really screaming to us at the end of, or for the rest of this month, but next month will be Captain America: Brave New World, formerly New World Order. So let's get to the chat before we wrap today's episode. The other reason too I want to do this stream on a somewhat daily basis is I've watched a lot of TV shows that I just have not had a chance to talk about. And I've caught up on shows, but by only doing one stream a week and talking to you guys, having a drink with you guys, talking toys with you guys, I don't get a chance to talk about the other stuff. So I do want to talk about more TV shows on this show as well. I watched I'm watching Silo. One episode left on season 2. Pretty good show. Really hard to see at times. I had to, in the last episode, really had to mess with my TV settings to try to catch everything. But Silo has been entertaining. Once again, Creature Commandos got me utterly pumped for DC this year and James Gunn this year. So make sure you guys watch that. I feel like there's another big one I was watching. Oh, as far as even last year too, I don't remember if I talked about it, but True Detective Ghost Country was last year. And we didn't really get a chance to talk about that. I think that was during the strike, maybe. But I watched it way after the fact with my wife. Such a good show too. Such a good show. So I'm looking forward to talking about more TV shows on in this stream as well. But all right, let me catch up to the comments. Shout out to Patrick, jumped in the chat. Man Collects jumped in the chat. For the sake of time, the Cliff Notes, Rolando in the chat. The Cliff Notes are, I'm going to try to go live on a somewhat daily basis. No set time, no set schedule, and get through topics and then read the chat at the end of the show, end of the stream. That's the plan. But watch the beginning so you can see how I got to that point. Creativity in the house, cutthroat in the house. Good to see you guys. Yeah, I want something different out of the Daredevil show. When you say different, do you mean different from what we've been getting or different from what we did get in the original Netflix show? Wow, Diamond Select's going out of business. We'll see. You know, sometimes companies file and don't go out of business. They get another round of investors that show up, or they do sell off and keep the name, but you know, sell the kind of like the operations off. So I wouldn't say they're completely buried, but the casket's being lowered for sure. I love the Rackin and Bass Mad Monster Party figures Diamond Select made many years ago. I own Fang, aka Frankenstein. Nice. Yeah, I've never known Diamond to make bad figures. So I'm not sure at what point did they fall off. Maybe they fell off because they stopped being carried in stores. You know, maybe Target and Walmart becoming the main source of figure collecting and not comic book stores. You know, maybe that hurt them. This year I saw Diamond Select employee talking on the stream on how Diamond Select was going to do, on how they're going to do for 2025. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the other thing too is even if an employee knows, like he's not allowed to say. Like he's not allowed to say preemptively, hey, we're filing, hey, we're going out of business. You can't do that. I still own a bunch of mini-mate Diamond Selects made, right? Ghostbuster mini-mates, that is. Oh, nice. Zero Notification, just vibes got me here. There you go. I love that. Let's see. Trap was horrible. What? No way. My wife didn't like it either. But my wife was like, oh, that wasn't realistic or this was realistic. I'm like, come on. You watch all those CSI shows where they just pull out a solve out of left field. There's no way you can judge this movie. I don't even know why they put out Godzilla vs. Kong, the New World or New Empire. It made money. Looking real quick. It profited $307 million before streaming. I don't get it either. But they know their audience. Minus One was really good, yeah. I've only heard conflicting things about Trap. Trap was bad acting, predictable, and silly. I don't think it was predictable. I don't want to spoil anything, so I'll just say that. I don't think it was predictable. I think some of the advancements were a bit of a stretch. But I was like, hey, I'm watching a movie. It was one of those where I wasn't looking for ultra realism in this movie. Because at the end of the day, it's still an M. Night Shyamalan movie. I'll leave it at that. Although I will say this one thing. It's not truly a spoiler, but it is not connected to Glass, Unbreakable, Split. It's not connected to those movies. It's its own thing. So I'll just get that out. Beekeeper is really good. I couldn't get through Monkey Man. Sonic 3 was good. Saw it New Year's Day. I was actually disappointed with Terrifier 3, which is okay. Although that cosplay got really popular this year. I'd rather watch Home Alone 5 again than Trap. You're wildin'. Man collects in the house. Everybody saying hi to each other. House of the Dragon 2. Yeah, I got to finish season 2 of that. Season 1 I really enjoyed. I was late to the party on that. Did I watch Dune? Did I say that? I don't think I did. The Dune TV show was great also. First episode, first episode's not terrible, but it doesn't do the show any favors. And then once you get past the first episode, it's really enjoyable. Yelling like I can't text Sal in this Discord. Oh man. Yeah, not like we're regular people through Discord. Absolutely love Smile 2, amazing acting and great story. There you go. All right, so I got to head out. That's an episode. That's a wrap on the return of Nerdy Coffee. Like I said, no promises on the days or times. I will try my best to go live tomorrow morning, but make sure you guys have the bell notifications turned on for the channel, because that's how you know when we'll go live. Worst case scenario, which is the best scenario, I think, Hair Show Live is still every Thursday, 8:15-ish p.m. here on Nerd Affiliated. But Nerdy Coffee, back in action. When, where, how, hit the bell to find out or to be notified. No outro video. Going to work on that stuff. Like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you watch from the beginning to see how we got to this point. Look out for the... Hopefully I can clip some of these out. And I'll talk to all you nerds in the next video. Peace. I'm out of here.